Frieren, the anime that needs no introduction, the titan that conquered all those which stood in its path with so much ease, it often draws people in on that fact alone. The glory of this anime isn't news to me, its praise has been sung since its initial release in 23, and has proven to leave its mark in the annals of history. Hell, I mean it stood the test of time against modern attention spans, and was talked about with so much gusto until its second season dropped in 26. But I never watched it. You might be wondering why it took me so long to get around to such a stunning piece of what I would say is anime history. It's like when you're planning on doing something around the house and your mom says, hey, make sure to do that thing that you were already planning on doing today, even though no one told you to do it. So you get unreasonably upset, you get put off from the idea, you lay in bed all day almost out of spite, you start getting lightheaded and dizzy and hungry because you haven't taken in anything else aside from the flicker of your monitor, watching creators live the life that you want to live, knowing you could have it if you weren't just sitting on your ass. So you get sad and you turn on Tomboy ASMR and you cry yourself to sleep. That's pretty much the reason it took me so long to actually sit down and immerse myself within what would be a story so beautiful and impactful and eye-opening to me, it would reawaken a part of myself which I haven't been in touch with for a very long time. And with how I'm talking this up, you would assume it's too good to be true, a scam to get you to fall into the elf girls or peak propaganda machine. I can't say either which way if that's true or not, but hear me out. When I tell you the waves of emotion in which this anime touched my soul was equal to that of chapters in a book, every page flip giving you something new to experience, showing me bit by bit the kind of person I've always wanted to be and what I've always wanted to show to the world with everything that I have, I mean it with 100% conviction. There is much I could say just about the world of Frieren alone. The stunning scenery crafted for this world with so much love and care put into every branch and every stone, and the music as well, along with the subtle world building that is paired with small piece of history sprinkled in now and again, like a fine gourmet meal that really makes everything feel that much more real and alive. To its real life effects of changing others for the better, giving them hope of a better self, so much so it's been felt throughout the world. After the rise and fall of the Demon King, defeated by the hands of the party of the heroes, Frieren the Elf Mage, Himmel the hero from the north, Hater the drunken priest, and Eisen the dwarf who stood tall when it mattered most. Their 10-year journey was the spark of a new dawn, bringing an era of peace and rebirth to a world that only knew war and fear. But even after their triumphant victory, there is one thing which can never be stopped. Some even fear this more than demons. Time, the ever-moving force of this world that no one can escape, but for those select few, time means very little, seen as a normal part of life until it hits them for the very first time, reminding them the black and white of their supposed gift, but still holding their head high as it brings a certain beauty to the world only they inhabit. I knew this anime was something special when the death of a character you didn't really know much about at the time, and the reaction of the characters was able to bring forth such a strong and potent emotion enough to make you feel like you also just lost someone dear and were right there in the room with them. Frieren is an anime that teaches you many things about yourself and the life that you lead. I was reminded of this within the first 3 episodes, so much so it made me bawl like a VTuber fan when they see a picture of a real person. Because it's true what they show you. Time isn't infinite and life will continue to march on even if you are lying in the road waiting for something or someone to push you forwards. Not considering the fact that sometimes you have to be ready to move yourself for the sake of who you are, so you can be ready to learn what it means to adapt to a constantly changing world without letting those changes upset or sway you, so you can embrace what's new and fresh, just so you can sweeten the end of your days by having that much more to cherish and not regret. All the while reassuring yourself it's okay to stop and slow down and really feel out everything, since adapting isn't just physical but mental as well. And that's where the anime really puts into play the idea of a balanced life as to avoid such things. Which is something I didn't learn until last year. After finally letting myself feel and grieve the things which had been bothering me, this feeling of mental and convictional reinforcement was only strengthened as time went on with each episode. As we grow up, the pieces start falling into our lives and it's common to leave things behind. Friends, hobbies, food, but the most unfortunate of all that gets forgotten more frequently than anything else is a person's kindness for themselves, which in turn can lead to them giving up hope on others or even the world, since they wake up not having an ounce of hope in their own 2 hands. Nevertheless, it's not impossible to rekindle these parts of yourself. Sometimes all it takes is someone else's kindness and belief in you to reignite that flame. Throughout all of this story, I think some of my favorite interactions have been from Stark, someone so normal in the sense of who he is and what he is surrounded with daily. The episodes where you get to see small glimpses into his day-to-day life while waiting in towns that they stopped at almost feels like encouragement that shouts, no matter who or where you are in this world, you can make a change, be it big or small. It's the person, not the actions, which change people's lives. and these feelings only strengthen after considering how he was forced by circumstance into a life he was so afraid to live. But every time he needs to stand tall, he does with 110%, showing his resolve so intensely because he was given just a little bit of hope and validation from another, letting him know his efforts were never in vain but appreciated beyond his understanding, and was just mentally burned out from his own stress piled on by expectations brought on by himself that no one else even thought about giving to him. Burnout doesn't just come from doing things creative, it takes all forms and shapes. Sometimes you don't even notice it when it actually happens, you just slowly start feeling different. It happened to me with all my hobbies and jobs. I just had no interest in putting forth any effort, but when I learned it wasn't because I fell out of love with them all, it was all accumulated stress and fear of failing in the things I loved so much. It gave me the time I needed to reflect on what I truly wanted to make my goal, granting me the chance to console in the right people, letting me find my path once again, bringing forth an even greater zeal for my craft, wanting to immerse myself in it even more while doing it the way I want to do it with the people I want by my side. Take for example the first class mage exam, a high level test which can be done only once every 3 years to claim the title of one of the strongest mages in the world and be granted an audience with Siri, the strongest mage ever, who knows most if not every spell, letting those who pass ask for one spell they desire no matter the cost. Literally a living grimoire of a person. It would make sense for anyone to be nervous or even drop out before it starts due to questioning if they have even a monochrome of skill to participate. However, Frieren, a mage so young in the sense of how long she'd been studying magic, was never worried about failing at all. And that's due to the fact that she dedicated time and effort into her magic originally so she would never break a promise to a dear friend, but later letting her love and interest in magic become that promise. To always immerse yourself within the things you love with everything you've got. And because of this pure passion and love, she was given a good foundation and was properly reassured about her goals, which allowed her to never feel stifled, giving her the chance to open up to others who equally share that same passion, pushing each other to only improve in their craft even if they don't always see eye to eye, allowing for a stronger bond to form, strengthening an already rock-solid conviction deep within, letting her trust she always is doing her best even if things seem dire or if she stumbles along the way. It's common for people now to very aggressively participate in gatekeeping, to the point it has hurt and sometimes even killed certain hobbies. While I do agree it's important to keep the things you find value in protected, it's best done intermittently so you don't become blind to the fact that you're keeping waves of people out who could shake things up in an amazing way from even getting their toes wet, and being the reason something can't see a further future than what it is now. And I won't lie, I was this way for a very long time when anime started getting popular, but I'm really glad that I changed, and I was reminded of how good it is to let new people into something so well protected because they shake things up in an amazing way. And I was reminded of that the first time that you meet Flame, the one who taught Frieren everything she knows about magic. And even though Flame had one goal and one alone, that being to make magic accessible to everyone in the world, not just demons and the few who walk the path of magic, she didn't let it shift her view on magic alone. Even after assuming such a laborious task, she kept persevering because it's what brought her so much joy. From the complex to the simplistic, which is what she later taught to Frieren, teaching her the proper way to appreciate that which you involve yourself with, all the way down to the smallest and simplest details. So there's never a chance of taking parts of it for granted, which subsequently is how Frieren started to also enjoy finding mundane spells for tasks done with ease, but also using it as a way to stay connected to ones she's maybe lost, and a way to honor her master, truly showing the spirit of never changing from who you are deep down, staying strong to your own ideals, while also making sure to fight and protect it in the right ways when needed. And she continues to do this even after watching Siri spurn Flame, calling her dreams and goals foolish and a waste of her short life, and that she believed magic should only be for the few of great power and not for the weak many. That's like meeting your favorite person in the world and then they just Even though Frieren isn't finished and we constantly learn more and more about the world and its characters, I believe it will become not just a beloved anime, but a lesson in the human condition, really showing its strength by providing a stellar journey about the growth of life, being able to teach how even if you've reached your peak, unable to experience and learn more from life, there's always those few people or situations along the road to throw those ideas on their head and open the gate for new possibilities, showing just how infinite everything really is, potentially igniting a fire within yourself to see how much more is still truly out there. And that's why I love Frieren. This anime has reminded me how I've always wanted to be kind and helpful and strong, but above all else, passionate and dedicated, not just to a hobby, but to myself as well. And that's why I believe Frieren is a masterpiece of an anime. As always, thank you all for watching. It means the world to me that you guys enjoy the things that I do. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And leave me a comment down below of what you would like to see me talk about next, or maybe some people you'd like to see me have on next for a collaboration if I can get them on. Make sure to also go follow me over on my socials. They'll be down in the description as well. And again, thank you all for watching. It means the world to me. And remember, SHUHARI.